Well, good morning. I just wanted to hop on here and encourage you a little bit. If you are in a season of, I've been praying and praying and praying, Tara, and nothing is changing. There's no hope to be seen, and I'm fighting, and I'm trying to hold on and press in and believe, but it's hard. And I'm at the point of giving up, and I just need a word of encouragement today. Then this is for you. I've been there, I understand, and I was so grateful when God would put messages in front of me, testimonies in front of me to help me to believe that God is still working behind the scenes when we don't see anything, or when we do see something, but it's the exact opposite of what we've been believing for and praying for. God gave me a promise many years ago about my family that I have clung to, that I have taken back to Him many times and said, you promised. Think about Noah getting off of the ark and the rainbow being put in the sky, and God saying, every time you see this rainbow, remember, this is the promise I made, right? I had a moment like that. My daughter had went missing. She was gone for over a year, but during the time that she was missing, I remember getting to a desperate place. And it was the first time that I went and checked in to a hotel, drove a couple hours away from home, which is my Bibles and my journals, my lexicon. I took my big, thick lexicon with me, and I just went in and I dumped everything on the bed, and I was just like, Lord, you have to speak, you have to show up. You promised me that my family would be saved. What in the world's going on? She's not only walked away from the Lord, she's walked away from her earthly family. And I remember when I pulled up to the hotel, and it was random. I didn't know where I was going. I was just like, I gotta go. Like, I just needed to get. And so I drove for a couple hours, and I pulled off. Ended up coming up to a town, and the first hotel in that town, I pulled into the parking lot, and over top of the hotel, I think I have a picture somewhere. If I can find it, I'll post it. Over top of the hotel was a huge rainbow, just encompassing the entire hotel. And I was like, God's gonna meet me here. That is my promise. And fast forward the next summer, I find out through a random conversation where my daughter might be. And so I go to that town that following weekend, and it's a rain and sunshine mix of a day. And so as I'm looking for her and stopping into where I believe she's supposed to be, periodically I would see rainbows in the sky. And I was chasing rainbows that day, because every time I would see a rainbow and I hadn't found my daughter yet, I would drive in the direction of that rainbow, and I would remind God what He said to me and why I was there, and I would plead with Him, let today be the day. Let today be the day. And I did get to find my daughter that day. I say all this to say that God keeps His promises. And He also has this way of just reminding you that He is with you, that He is for you. And He has a little bit of a sense of humor sometimes in the way that He does it. I've seen glimmers of hope since my brother passed away, that my daughter might be on her way back to Him, to faith, to the faith that she once professed. And so this weekend, I was at my mom's house, and my daughter was there. And I said, hey, I hear you've been going to church and reading your Bible. And she was like, yeah, well, I don't have a Bible. And I was like, yeah, you do. She was given a Bible 11 years ago when she graduated high school, right before this season of desperation that I ended up in, where she had went off to, I don't know, whatever she did. That's her story to tell. But before she went missing 11 years ago, she was given a Bible. And that Bible's remained at my mom's house. And I would remind myself that it was there, and that one day that she would want it. And I would tell God that too. And it was a nice Bible. Like, I kind of was like, I kind of like to have the Bible. But it's her Bible, and she's coming back to get it one day. So this weekend when I said that to her, my mom went and got the Bible and brought it to her. And not only did my daughter take the Bible, which is huge, she was excited to get the Bible. She even looked down at it and was like, oh, this is the one I've been wanting. This is the exact kind that I've been wanting. God's good. God's good. It's taken a lot of years, over a decade. It's taken a lot of years of standing on that promise and reminding God of what He spoke to me the night that I laid in that bed and more than anything just wanted to die, and was given that choice that you can die. and come and be with me, or you can die and you can stay here because there's work for you to do. And it involves the salvation of the souls of those people that you love the most. I got to leave that day, my daughter taking her Bible out the door with a smile on her face, and take my granddaughter home with me. And the next morning was church, Sunday, and I was teaching children's church. And so I had not put two and two together yet. God often sideswipes me like that. He's like, see what I've been planning all along and you didn't know? And it wasn't even until, the copier was broken and I was having to rearrange the lesson. But I was like, no, we're sticking with the same lesson because Avia was there and I love my grandbaby, but she didn't give me time to think and process, how can we come up with something new to do today? So no, I had to stick with the same thing, but I had to modify one part of it, and it was the part where they write out one sentence, the one sentence that summarizes what we've been talking about in children's church. And that one sentence on that page with a man looking up at the stars in the sky that came right after the rainbow had been put up as a reminder, hey, there was a rainbow back here, and you've forgotten that God keeps his promises. And we go a couple chapters ahead in Genesis, and we come to another time where God's look at the sky, look at all the stars in the sky, and remember, I'm a God that keeps my promises. If I said it, I'll do it. Abram, I told you you would have your own child. I told you that there would be generations that come out of you. Look at the stars in the sky and know that I'm a God that keeps his promises. And so on this paper where they had Abram and all these stars, they were to write one sentence, and that sentence is God keeps his promises. He does it. He does it, y'all. It might take longer than we want it to. It might look different than we think it will. But God is faithful. In spite of us. I've shared a testimony at Sisterly before, right? I was not faithful. He was. He's always faithful. He always keeps his promises. And so I wanted to get on here today as an encouragement to you. If you're in a season where you feel like ain't nothing working, ain't nothing happening, I've prayed and I've prayed and I've prayed, and all I have is heartache and grief and loss and suffering. Don't give up, because God's still working behind the scenes. And one day, you're going to have a day where you get a phone call that floors you. Not for bad news, because I've had those, but for good news. I had that moment. I cling to it all the time, and I say, God, you did it before, you will do it again. That phone call that comes, and on the other end of the line, you hear, I do believe. I do believe in God. I do believe in God. Or you get the phone call that says, the scans came back clear. The blood work shows nothing. The finances came through. Help is on the way. Whatever it is that you have been desperately praying into and trusting God for and believing that he promised, if he said it, he will do it. Even if you've been unfaithful. It's not an excuse to stay unfaithful. It's because God knows we're weak. He knows that the pressure can get to us. He knows what we struggle with. He doesn't hold our weaknesses against us, but he is strong in our weaknesses. He upholds the covenant. Just like he did when he made that covenant with Abram. He laid him on the ground. And he said, you lay here and you watch me. I'm going to be the one that upholds this promise. I know you can't. But I'm taking you into this promise with me. All I want you to do is lay here and watch the fire. And the fire went through the covenant that day, and has upheld it ever since. If he's had you sit still while he's told you what he's going to do, you can hold him to it. He's faithful. He is a God that cannot lie. I love y'all. Have a great day.